from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Good evening and welcome to the National News Broadcast, bringing to you live from the National News Studios here at Rupavahini. We are ready to bring you the top stories here at home and around the world. I'm Charita Binapurarachi.
And I'm Malsha Dharmavardhana. Let's begin with your headlines.
The rainy weather condition is to continue till the 15th of January, a disastrous situation in many areas. 1,600 more suspects have been taken into police custody along with stocks of heroin, ice, mava, cannabis and narcotic pills. A special traffic plan for Colombo tomorrow night. 11 persons including 2 foreigners injured in a road accident in the Southern Expressway. An island-wide inoculation program to control the measles disease. 30 persons killed in a powerful missile attack launched against Ukraine by Russia. 160 persons were also injured.
On to those and other stories in detail now, and starting off with the top story. The Department of Meteorology says a decline in rainy weather affecting the island could be experienced after the 15th of January.
Many areas in the country are experiencing heavy rainfall in the evening hours of today as well. Our correspondent says thunder showers have continuously inundated many areas in Polonnaruwa and Batticaloa districts. The historic and sacred Somavati site has come underwater once again. It has been reported that the Somavati Chaitya has been subjected to flooding of more than 3 feet. The reason for the upsurge in flood is reported to be increase of the water level of Mahaveli River as a result of the opening of sluice gates of Moragahakanda Reservoir and Parakrama Samudra. Despite the floods of Somavati sacred site, the Mahasangha board the historic sacred locations were seen engaged in meritorious activities disregarding the disastrous situation. Meanwhile, Manampetiya Gallal area on the Colombo Batticaloa main road is under 4 feet of water, making public transport increasingly difficult. Therefore, the authorities have taken measures to deploy a special train for the benefit of the residents in the area. A special discussion was conducted at the Polonnaruwa District Secretariat today to focus attention upon the disaster situation affecting the district. Prominent attention has been focused at the meeting on immediate prevention. The roads of Veeramani in Batticaloa were covered by water. 2 automated sluice gates of Moragahakanda Reservoir are currently released around 3,000 cubic feet of water to Abangaga. Due to the sudden influx of water, the destruction of cultivation lands in Attana Kadavala and Jamburevela is plainly visible. The Department of Irrigation says 12 sluice gates in Rajangana Reservoir remain open, releasing a massive water capacity of 15,650 cubic feet in the Kalaoya in every second. Steps have also been taken to open 2 sluice gates in the Angamu Reservoir as well. Overflowing on reservoirs in Galan Bidunuwaba has also been commenced with the continuous heavy rainfall. Water level in one of the main reservoirs in the area, the Huruduwaba, is about to reach the spill levels. Falling of earth mound has also been reported from 18 Bend area of Kandy Mahiyangane Road. Therefore, the police cautioned the general public to remain vigilant in using the road. Police media spokesman SSP Nihal Thalduwa said that there is a threat of items such as rocks falling into the main road. He therefore requests motorists to drive vehicles with great caution in the 18 bend area of the road. He also calls on motorists not to create sounds such as playing cassettes and radios in vehicles that prevent on-focus attention on impeding dangers. An activation of an earth slip in the Hanguranketa Udavatta road has caused an obstruction up to Galauda. A similar situation has been recorded in the same location in the year 2014 as well. Our correspondent points out that an earth slip has also been obstructed the byroads of Palle Bovela, Hapukasdeniya in Rikilla Gaskanda. State Minister Prabitha Bandara Ternakon said that the basic intention is to provide the necessary relief to the afflicted until the elimination of the disaster condition. He further said that they consider that it is their responsibility to strengthen the existing laws to overcome the situation. He adds that accordingly they hope to introduce a code of some status or a methodology form next year to build research institute. A somewhat different method will have to be adopted in granting concession for construction carried out without receiving the necessary approval. He also said that he does not believe in the policy of government paying the fine for destruction caused as a result of breaking the law drafted by the state.
Meanwhile, an earthquake was recorded in the Indian Ocean beyond the area of western arc of Indonesia this morning. The Richter scale has recorded the tremor as 6.3. However, the Indonesian Meteorological and Geological Science Agency has later reported that there was no threat of an occurrence of a tsunami as a result of the earthquake.
The tremor was located at a depth of 10 kilometers in the Indian Ocean around 10:49 this morning. The National Pre-Tsunami Danger Warning Centre of the Sri Lanka Department of Meteorology has released a communique stating the tremor would not pose any threat on the coastal areas of Sri Lanka. The relevant media release has been issued in collaboration with the national and international institutes.
Now, the police has taken measures to implement a special traffic plan in the city of Colombo tomorrow night. Accordingly, vehicle transport in many major roads in Colombo is to be directed in one direction. Police media spokesman and senior police superintendent and attorney at law Nihal Thalduwa said that if motorists do not have an understanding on the direction of the vehicles on the road, that would lead to the formation of a traffic jam. He also said that in order to prevent intrusion of large number of vehicles, the vehicle park in front of Lake House could accommodate parking of many vehicles at once. There are vehicle parks in Bastion Mawatha, Duke Street and also Bristol Street, as well as Barton Jatilaka Mawatha. The senior SP and police spokesman further said vehicles could also be parked on the Marine Drive from Bambalapitiya to Kollupitiya. He also said that a plan has been devised to allow such parked vehicles the opportunity to process towards fort. Any motorist could convey these problems to police officials assigned for duty. Motorists will be strictly not allowed to drive consuming liquor. The law will be enforced sternly on the 31st night as well as on January 1st. The police say that Police Computer Criminal Investigation Division is receiving daily at least 2 to 3 complaints pertaining to women and young surgeons. Senior Superintendent of Police Computer Criminal Investigation Division, Dakshika Kumari said that most of the complaints received at present by the Computer Criminal Investigation Division relating to deceiving of women and youth over financial frauds. Normally, 2 to 3 complaints are to be received daily. She further said youth are dealing with these criminals online through their accounts. She further says that deceiving persons sending money through online to these fraudsters. The amount sent to this manner exceeds billions rupees. Some dealings are being carried to Telegram apps. She requests misguiding elements not to become a prey for these devious gangsters.
In yesterday's operations to apprehend drug racketeers and underworld gangsters, the police have taken into custody 1,554 suspects. The police says that 82 of these suspects have been further interrogated on detention orders. Nearly 1,600 raids have been conducted yesterday. The operations carried out yesterday taking into police custody of 590 grams of heroin, 1 kilo and 313 grams of ice narcotic, 6 kilos and 332 grams of cannabis, 4,104 cannabis plants, 505 grams of Marva narcotic and 119 drug pills has become possible. 2 suspects have also been arrested and 62 drug addicts were scheduled to be directed to the rehabilitation centers. Yesterday's operation have also been successful in apprehending 128 culprits whose names have been recorded in the lists of the Police Anti-Narcotics Bureau and the Special Task Force. In raids conducted in Pamulugama this morning, 6 suspects along with nearly 2,500 kilos of BD leaves illegally brought to the island have been taken into police custody. The police says the value of the illicit stock of BD leaves is nearly 30 million rupees. The stock of BD leaves brought into the island by boats and prepared for transportation using 3 lorries were apprehended. The Detiavala Tsunami Housing Project in Kalutara North was subjected to a raid in parallel to the Yukti operation this morning. Nearly 75 officials of the Sri Lanka Army, Police Station of Kalutara North and the Kalutara Division Criminal Investigation Unit have taken part in the operation. Nearly 50 suspected houses were searched using the Romy police dog of the Horana Police Division. In a search operation conducted by the officials of the Tangol Police Special Task Force camp, a pair of cuffs and 2 walkie-talkie machines were taken into police custody along with 2 suspects. Officials in the Puttalam camp of the Police Special Task Force have detected a distillery engaged in large-scale operations in Arachikattua. 2 suspects have also been arrested in this connection. In another operation carried out by the Hatton Police Station, 2 youth were arrested who had in their possession a stock of narcotics. Our correspondents say that several more suspected persons were also arrested. The Palannaru Police Station has arrested a couple and 9 others on charges of selling cannabis near the Kaduruvela town. 140 grams of cannabis prepared for sale and cash amounting to 50,000 rupees have also been taken into police custody.
Now, Minister of Health Ramesh Patirana says government has been implementing many programs to minimize the spread of the measles disease. An island-wide vaccination campaign is scheduled to get underway next month. The minister has expressed these observations after an inspection tour at the Peradeniya Hospital. Minister of Health Ramesh Patirana said that a certain increase in the disease control of measles has been witnessed in the past few months. He also says that the World Health Organization has named Sri Lanka as a country which has eradicated the measles disease. The minister further said that therefore they should focus special attention on the situation.
11 persons, including 2 foreigners, were injured in a motor accident that took place in the Southern Expressway in Thodangoda last evening. Our correspondent says that 2 private buses and a Bowser were collided. When the Bowser overtook a vehicle that was parked by the roadside due to a disastrous condition, it clashed with a private bus carrying passengers heading towards the Maharagama from Mathura at the same instance. Another private bus travelling from Kaduvela to Mathura hit the rear of the first bus. The police says that careless driving by drivers of all 3 vehicles has contributed to the accident. The injured persons were admitted to the Nagoda Hospital in Kalutara. Meanwhile, a lorry carrying a stock of gas tanks to Anuradhapura from Vaunia turned aside, injuring the driver. The accident has occurred in Kumbugolawa in the Jaffna Kandy main road. The police says the lorry was skidded due to rainfall.
On to some more local news in brief. A passing out parade of 29 officials recruited to the Sri Lanka Navy Voluntary Force has taken place at the Trincomalee Navy and Ocean Academy yesterday. Officials who have shown exceptional skills were presented with awards and trophies. A group of officials, including Director General of the Navy, were present. The Dabulapalli Special Task Force officials have been successful in uncovering racket of drying up refuse tea under the guise of transporting organic fertilizer. Around 150 sacks of refuse tea transported in a lorry were apprehended. A program organized by the Psychological Science and Advisory Association of Vishaka Vidyalaya of Colombo was held at the Dehiwala Zoological Gardens yesterday. The aim was enhancing medical health of school children. Many recreational programs, including clinical drawings and clinical zoology, were held. A special Christmas carol concert was held for children with special needs at Kirulapana recently with the intention of focusing social attraction on the destitute children. The event has been organized by the Wings Lake Foundation.
Funeral of the chairman of the Salasini Institute, Harith Gunawardena, has taken place at the Aravala General Cemetery in Panipitiya this evening. This was 54 years old at the time of passing away. The death was reported to be due to a heart attack.
Harith Gunawardena, in addition to his duties as the chairman of Salasini, had also functioned as a veteran advertising artist. Large groups have arrived at his residence in Suhadamavata, Panipitiya today as well to pay their last respects. Several public representatives, including Minister Dr. Bandal Gunawardena, was present at these religious observances held in connection with his funeral this afternoon. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena has sent a message of condolences in connection with the passing away of the veteran media person.
Stay tuned with international news after this break.
Prima Kutumi. Stay safe, eat hot.
Welcome back with international news. And at least 30 people have been killed in Ukraine, says it's Russia's biggest missile bombardment of the war so far. More than 160 people were injured as Russia hit Kyiv, Odessa, Dnipro, Kharkiv and Lviv in the early hours of the Friday morning. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said that Russia has used nearly every type of weapon in its arsenal, with homes and a maternity hospital hit. Ukraine's Air Force said that it had never saw many missiles launched at once. It's also said 114 of 158 missiles as drone had been shot down.
Now, Google has agreed to settle a US lawsuit claiming it invaded the privacy of users by tracking them even when they were browsing in private mode. The class action sought at least $5 billion from the world's go-to search engine and parent company Alphabet. Large technology firms have faced increased scrutiny of their practices in the class action, which was filed by the law firm Boyce Skiller Flexner in 2020, claimed that Google had tracked users' activity even when they set the Google Chrome browser to incognito mode and other browsers to private mode. The search engine said collection of search history, even in private viewing mode, helps site owners better evaluate the performance of their content, products, marketing and more. Incognito mode within Google's Chrome browsers gives users the choice to search the internet without their activity being saved to the browser or device. But the website visitors can use tools such as Google Analytics to track usage.
And meanwhile, a highly venomous case has interrupted tennis play during Dominic Thiem's victory against James Mugabe at the Brisbane International qualifying event. Former US Open champion team was set down at Australian Makabe when the snake was spotted near the courtside electrical wires. A 40-minute break in play followed while the reptiles were safely removed by a professional snake catcher. The animal was identified as a highly venomous eastern brown snake and was approximately 50 centimeters in length.
Prima Kutumi. Stay safe, eat hot.
Taking a look at your sports news, onto some cricket. Kusal Mendis has been appointed as the captain of the Sri Lanka one-day cricket team. Meanwhile, Vanidu Hasaranga has been appointed as the skipper of the T20 team. The Sri Lankan captain has been made to announce this morning.
The Sri Lanka tour of Zimbabwe cricket team is scheduled to commence on the 6th of next month. The preliminary reserves of the Sri Lanka one-day and T20 teams participating in the tournament matches were named today. The Sri Lanka one-day pool is comprised of 21 players and Charita Salanka has been named as the vice-captain of the squad. The T20 reserve is included of 22 players and the vice-captaincy of this team has also been entrusted upon Charita Salanka. The Zimbabwe-Sri Lanka tour is considered of 3 one-day matches and 3 T20 matches. All matches are scheduled to be conducted at the R. Premadasa Stadium in Colombo.
Now, the World Cup cricket tournament of the attorneys at law, the Indian lawyers beat the Bangladesh lawyers by 59 runs. The match was played at the Thurston Cricket Ground in Colombo.
The Indian attorneys at law batting first has scored 165 runs in 34 overs and 3 deliveries. Subenudu Kushik has scored 29 and Rohit Raj 28. The best ball in figure was that of Faisal Distiger and Skeet Khan, who took 2 wickets each. The Bangladesh team were all out for 106 runs and the end of 28 overs and 5 deliveries. Saidul Tanveer 36 and Indian bowlers Hussain Dilip has captured 4 wickets for 14 runs. Australia has won the second test of the current series against Pakistan by 79 runs at the Melbourne Cricket Grounds. The Australian first innings score was restricted to 318 runs. The Pakistani team was able to score the 264 runs in their first innings. The Australian team in their second innings has scored 262 runs. The Pakistan team, facing a victory target of 317 runs, was bundled up for 337 runs of the Australian team, but the best bowling figures was from Pat Cummins, who took 5 wickets for 49 runs.
Punish through the leg side, there's a lot of room there. Punches through.
The Australians put their foot down late.
And moving on to some rugby, CRN FC beat CHN FC in an inter-club league rugby tournament match played at the CRN FC grounds.
The CRN FC team has won the match with a margin of 28 to 23. The winners' point came into form of 4 ties, 2 penalties and a goal. The rival CHN FC, who have collected their points as 2 ties, 2 goals and 3 penalties. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa was among the spectators of the match. In the match between the Army and the Navy played at the Panaguda Army grounds, the Army has won 29 to 17. The winning points included 5 tries and 2 goals. The Navy has scored 3 ties and a goal.
Prima Kutumi. Stay safe, eat hot.
And with that, we conclude tonight's news on Rupavahini. Do join us tomorrow at the very same time. Good night.
Good night.